Hi, welcome to Trading with TK, teaching you to turn ideas into money. We're at www.tradingwithtk.com, and today's Monday, May 19th. And I'm smiling because history was made today. The transportation average made an all-time new high. Not a 1 year, not a 10 year, more like a 100-year new high. What does it say about the market? I don't know how people can continue to call this a rally in a bear market when you have the transportation average score an all-time new high. Baffles me. Okay, but there are people out there doing that. Not us. Anyway, we'll take a look at all that stuff in our final segment. We have a little mini pullback going on. I'll show you exactly where we think this will stop sometime tomorrow, and we can start up again. So we'll take a look at that in our final segment. But what else have I got? I've got a new idea again. They're getting harder to find because a lot of them have already taken off pretty good. But I've got one for you. And then we'll take a look at the stock we bought this morning, MRVC, and I'll show you how we got off to a pretty good start there. So without further ado, the stock for tomorrow is XFML. I can't pronounce the word. It's Chinese. So we'll take a look at the chart. That's all we need to know. And I'll show you how we're going to take this idea and turn it into some money. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Okay, we're looking at a daily bar chart. Let me get a better view there. We're looking at a daily bar chart of XFML. There's the symbol right there. There's a call on the long side. We're looking to buy the stock tomorrow about somewhere around 380, give or take a nickel. That's about just about where it closed. Our target is 589 right up here. That's our first target. I have a target of 950 actually above this, but this is going to do it in stages. You can see it's staircasing its way up, and I think it's going to continue to do that. So for this trade, our target's going to be about 580, 589, somewhere up in this area right here. Okay, what do I see? What do I like about this stock? Before I get into that, I also want to mention that the volume today was 600,000 shares. That's sort of on the higher end of the range. You can do 1 million some days, but can also get down to about 350 or 400,000. So keep that in mind. This is not a real liquid stock, but liquid enough. Okay, I'll show you what I see. Ascending triangle. And the reason why I'm drawing this is because this is the support area here. It's also part of the triangle, but you can see here it got there, it pulled back right to support, broke out, now it's pulled back right to support again. This is the old support. The old high is now become support. So we've got this breakout pullback scenario going along with this ascending triangle. So let me recap that. This XFML is a call on the long side, and I think our initial trade is going to be we'll make about $2 on this trade. All right, let's take a look at MRVC, because we're off to a good start with that. For those of you who missed me giving this to you yesterday, I've already got the lines drawn in, and once again we've got this ascending triangle, only this time we've got a double top we broke out of. Once they break out of double tops, they usually go. Now, this may revisit this area, but it's not going to stay there very long. So if you're not there to buy it when it gets there, it's going to bounce right off there. If it gets there, I kind of think it's not going to pull back. Anyway, it's a great looking bottom. It's a great looking chart. One of my readers thought maybe it was going to retest, but you know, once you get these triangles going, that's the key right there, especially when it breaks out. Okay, so we'll put that in our portfolio, and hopefully that'll be one of our winners down the road. All right, let's take a look at the major indexes to see what kind of history was made today. And first we're going to take a look at the Dow Jones averages. And they come up. There they are. Let's start anew. Now, if you've been watching me for the last couple of days, I've pointed out what I considered the beginning of this ascending triangle. Once I got myself back on track 3 days ago, I pointed out this ascending triangle. and you can see it broke out today out of this top. So now that makes this top here, right here, this top right in there, that's our new support area. And once we get further on up the line, then this will become our support area. It's not there yet because we haven't gotten through there yet, but we have gotten through this little flat top. So let's take a look at the hourly chart, and we can zoom in on this, and you can see just about, it almost got there, and I believe it's going to come back down and test this again early in the morning, and then it's got to build some sort of a base for a few hours before it breaks out again. So that's why I said that this pullback isn't quite over yet. It needs to do some more work. But we know where our support area is. This is 12,999, I think, or thereabouts. These are just benchmark numbers. These are areas. These are not specific stop on the dime numbers. These are just benchmarks. You got to give them a little wiggle room. All right, let's look at our champ transportation average. This is the old all-time new high right there, or the old high. And today you can see how we penetrated it. I hope everybody can see that. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Okay, so now we pull back a little bit, and this is our support area now. Now that we're through, this is what the Dow is eventually going to look like when it gets through that all high. This one's already done it. Like I've said to you many times, these transportation averages are the leader of all the indexes. They're the first to go. And it all started back, I'm going to point this out again to you. It all started back down here. This is when I got bullish, when I saw this big reverse head and shoulders pattern right in here. Left shoulder, right shoulder, and head, and it hasn't stopped since. And I don't see any signs of it stopping. Okay, this is our new support area right here. It pulled back right to it, so I expect it to hold that area. This is an hourly. You can see right in here. It wants, it made back and fill. I think it's going to want to build a pattern, something like this, before it pops again. So that's why I said it'd probably do some work down in here tomorrow morning for a few hours. That's why I said I don't think the pullback is over yet. Okay, let's look at the SPYs. These represent the S&P 500. You can see they've made an all-time new high, and now that they broke through this all high, this now becomes support. So I don't know these exact numbers. You guys have to look them up yourselves. 141, 142, something like that. You all have machines. Go check out big charts. They're free. Okay, QQQs, and pulling back a little bit, and this is our support area right in here. It didn't quite get to it. It may get there tomorrow. It's the old high area right in here. Let's look at an hourly, and so you can see it probably could come down a little bit more in the morning. That's why I said I don't think the sell-off, this pullback, is over yet. And then we want to put in a few hourly bars going back and forth to build a little base before we break out. So it could be a few hours before we get going again on the upside tomorrow. Okay, so that's my view of the market. Until tomorrow, this is TK signing off.